I just finished this absolutely adorable Halloween set of mummies and ghosties, and I figured I'd show you how it was done. So I have 2 tips here, and I'm going to do one ghost and one mummy and show you how easy it is, because it really was, and it's a lot of fun, and it's so adorable. How could you not? So I've been seeing these adorable nails all over Instagram. I will put some of the handles down in the description so you guys can see where I got it from. And here's a couple of the accounts that I saw them on. And they're really quite simple to do. So I'll show you what I used. I just want to recreate them because they're freaking adorable. So it's really very simple, but it does take a few products. You're going to want a milky white polish, some type of a chrome powder that gives you that like Aurora effect, whatever color you want to go with. You can use powder, semi-liquid, or pure liquid, although I don't recommend these pure liquid ones. As you can see, I haven't had this that long and the liquid be gone. And it's just all evaporated and left behind the powder. So there might be a way to revitalize this to be able to use it again, but I'm not sure off the top of my head. And then you're going to want no wipe top coat, base coat, some type of thicker gel like a builder gel, a matte top coat, a no wipe coat that's thick like a texture gel will be best, but you could probably make it work with something else. And then art paint, or just a really thick, heavily pigmented black, white, and pink. So my tips are prepped and ready to go. Just going in with my milky white. And I'll be doing both of these nails simultaneously because they're so very similar, kind of up until the end. So just do one white coat on each and cure. All right, so once your nails are milky white, then you're going to go in with a no wipe. Make sure it's a no wipe top coat. And this is going to be so that we can put our chrome down onto this. And cure. And once your no wipe top coat is cured, you want to go in with alcohol on a lint-free wipe and give it a good cleaning. Once that's wiped off really well, I'm going to go in with your chrome powder, however you're doing it, and chrome it up. I never used to like this style until I kind of realized that it has to be done with a sponge, otherwise it doesn't rub it in very well. And if you're having a struggle with it, go back in with your alcohol, just give it a quick wipe, and you should be able to put another layer on, and it should stick quite nicely. And to get a really good buff on that chrome, always a good idea to go in with a microsoft or a microfiber soft towel and really buff that chrome in there nice. It will make it nice and smooth and shiny and remove some of that spotting and speckling you might notice. Gives it a really nice clean look usually. And you can always go in with a couple of coats of it if you want. But for this purpose, we're just going to be doing the one. Once you feel like your chrome is applied nicely, it's a really good idea for longevity to go in with your file and just do a very light filing all around the edge. That's going to help to prevent your chrome from chipping, making sure you don't have any filing dust. What you're doing is clearing that edge a bit because your gel is not going to stick to your chrome. So you need to clear a little edge. Here's some alcohol. Make sure I wipe any dust filing. And you just want a quick swipe around your edge with primer. Again, it's going to add an extra sticky layer, act as that kind of double-sided sticky tape, so that when we put our base coat down to secure it, it will lock it all inside. And you're way less likely to have issues with your chrome chipping, which can be a major thing that's common. Then you're going to go in with your base coat to lock that chrome in. Keep in mind you might want to have a separate base coat that you use for things like chrome, because this is going to get powder into your base coat, which can then transfer to your other work and be tricky to deal with. Certainly frustrating to have little bits of stuff in your base or top coats. Now that our chrome's all locked in with base coat, we're going to give it a wipe to get that sticky inhibition layer off, so that we can go in with our art paints and put our little faces on. And we literally need like just a few dots of each. So I'm just pulling a little bit out of my pots and putting it onto my palette with my dotting tools that I'm going to use. The reason that we wipe off that sticky layer is so that our art paints don't kind of smear, which is typical. They'll like run a little bit if it's too sticky, gooey. And just making our little eyes. So just cleaning up to get the perfect little look that you want for the eyeballs. And I find a dotting tool works the easiest for this, even though I still constantly mess it up and redo it. And I'll just compare his eyeballs to the rest of their eyeballs. Yeah, it's about the right size. Clean up this little edge and away we go. And put them in the light. Now you have the blacks of the eyes done. You go in with your tiny, tiny, tiny dotting tool. And put your little white dots in. And then we go in with the pink and the dotting tool and put your little cheeks in. And so far, that's our cute little face. So here we are, we got our two cute little guys to start with. One of them's going to be a ghost, one of them's going to be a mummy. So for the mummy, we're going to go in with our matte top coat. Pop that in the lamp. While that guy's curing, we're going to go in with this guy, make him our ghost. And I have decanted a little bit of my builder gel onto my palette. I'm just going to go in with my long brush. And this gel is soft and like a little less than a medium viscosity. So you want to start out with just a smaller amount so it's not overloading. You want a bit of a bead on the end of your brush. And you're going to go in and do your seashell pattern, or what's typically used as a seashell pattern. And as you do this, because we're using a runnier viscosity gel, you want to cure. So off to the side, I have a pin cure light so that I can just do a quick little flash freeze as I go along, so it doesn't have a chance to run. So just drawing that pattern and then back and forth in and out of the light. I tried all kinds of different viscosity gels for doing this when I started and ran into lots of issues. So this one's working the best. So then we're going to build it up a bit and going back in some more product just to build these up so they're a lot more three-dimensional. But still with the flash cure, otherwise you're going to have running of your product. It's going to get messy. That's where I was going wrong. I was using products that were too thin and they would run, or then I was using products that were too thick and they wouldn't do this nice drippy action. So I was fighting with how thick they were, thinking it was going to help make it faster for me because I could build it up higher without running, but I couldn't get the nice drip effect very easily, so it ended up taking me a lot more time and wasting a whole lot of it. For some people, they might be able to pull off a few at a time if you're quick. I'm not so good with that, but I'm gonna try. And ideally you want your tips to be raised and then to go down a little bit as it comes in. So I want to build that height right on the tip of it at the end of the nail, and then bring it in shallower as you go. So then once you feel like you've built it up as dimensional, like 3-dimensional as you like, then stick it in the lamp for a full cure. And we are almost there. So here is our cute little matted mummy that we're going to do. And the perfect product that I have for this is the Jello Edge Gel. It is a thick textured, no wipe product, but just a heads up, it would seem that it kind of cures a bit in air. I'm thinking because when I was working on these nails last night, I left the jar open and it seems to have cured a good portion of it. So there is still some to be worked with kind of underneath, right there, but most of this is cured. There's a little bit on top and then it's kind of cured inside. So yeah, I'm not really quite sure how that happened, but I do know that I left it half kind of open while I was working for hours. So it did not like that. So if you guys have this product, cover it, close it, seal it. Don't leave it out exposed. I had it like kind of like this for hours, and yeah, it's kind of toast, and I really like it. It's really, really good for this kind of a thing. It gives the perfect effect so quickly and easily, as you'll see here. So I've got a flat plaid brush. Here's that Jello product. I'm just getting a little bit on the end, and we will start with his head. And we just put a swipe. Go. Got kind of a blob there that we don't want. There we are. And go in with another swipe. And with this being a glossy, no wipe top coat, well, it's not a top coat, it's a texture gel, but it gives the really cool effect and it brings that iridescence right out instead of being kind of hidden in with the matte. All right, and just like that, we have our mummy. Put him in the lamp. And now we've got our little ghosty here. We're just going to go in with our no wipe top coat. And you want to make sure you get right into in between all these little lumps. I originally tried doing this as matte and just having the raised pieces as glossy. And I fought with it for hours and hours, and it was not looking good at all. And then I clued into the idea that, oh, it doesn't look good because the glossy over the matte in this case just looked really messy. There was no way to like make it look neat. The effect just was not good the way it is on the mummy. Because originally I'd hoped that they would all really match and have the same effect across all of them, but that wasn't the way. But it still works really great, seeing as how the mummy stripes are glossy anyway, and how the ghosties are completely glossy. So let's put them in the lip. And just like that, guys, we made our little ghosty and mummy. So you can see these are super easy. There's not a lot to them, and they turn out stunningly adorable. If you like iridescence and you like cute Halloween as opposed to spooky horror Halloween, I'm going to try a different color palette and see how that looks. There, that's a little bit easier to see on a darker palette. But they're weird. They're hard to see because they're chrome and the iridescence that comes off them. I'm going to have to try doing a photo and see if I can capture it, because they're really interesting to get on camera with that look. I hope you guys enjoyed watching the video, and I hope you can see how easy these are to do for yourselves. If you have any questions about any of the products I used or how I put them together, you'll find everything down in the description, or just leave a comment and of course I'll answer it for you. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. As always, don't forget to love your nails. Bye!